guys want more UCSS content, make sure you follow us on social media. There's our X, our Instagram, and our TikTok handles. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to be part of the weekly newsletter, you can see the number on your screen there, 216-435-1590. You can sign up for that. So take advantage of all the UCSS content you don't get from 11 to 1 daily on your social media channels and elsewhere across the interweb. All right, Jason, I need you to help us navigate these tumultuous waters because the Cleveland Guardians have a new broadcast home. They are now going to be on ESPN Plus for the upcoming season, no longer on MLB TV, which is where they were last year. ESPN spent $1.65 billion to get the local broadcast rights to 6 Major League Baseball teams that were previously under the FanDuel Bally Sports Network. It is now under the ESPN network. It'll be the same broadcast team that we had last year and we had in the previous years with Matt Underwood, Dre Knott, and those guys. But, Jason, is this a good thing or a bad thing for fans that now ESPN is the rights holder for the local broadcast for the Guardians?
I'll tell you when they set the price.
Yeah, what if you have so there's 6 teams under the MLB umbrella. If you get ESPN Plus, you will have through that app free access to all those games.
I was slacking with Andrew Marchand yesterday.
Right. Yeah,
covers. He's
a media
job.
Reporter.
For
sports media reporter
for us. Yeah. And he said, I mean, they're still working out details on all this. He thinks it'll be in the $20 to $30 a month range. And it'll probably be very similar. However you did it last year, you'll probably be able to do it again or through ESPN.
Right, because I
don't think it's going to be much change for consumers, for fans. I don't think. I think it's just
will it be ESPN production? Like, will the score bug look like ESPN?
I doubt it. Like, those ESPN Plus games don't really look like, when they.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't have all the answers, but I think
prices never go down. I mean, they don't go down.
No. So we'll find out. What did fans have to pay? Because I just have DirecTV.
Was it $99 last year for the whole season?
$100 for the whole year. It'll probably go up from that.
Yeah.
It was $100 for the whole year. Yeah.
So that'd be
right. I had the whole.
Wait, Jason, hold on, real quick. Becker just texted me and said they'll still be on MLB TV in 26, while also streaming through ESPN. Did you hear that? That's not what I read.
Well, yes. So MLB TV is now owned by ESPN.
Got you. Okay.
ESPN bought the rights to MLB TV. So MLB TV, it used to be called MLB Extra Innings, is like NFL Sunday Ticket.
Okay, now I'm getting it.
DirecTV had Sunday Ticket. Now YouTube TV has it. MLB TV kind of used to be just out on its own through MLB. Now ESPN holds the rights to MLB Extra Innings or MLB TV. But there's kind of 2 separate entities here because the Guardians and 5 other teams are their games. They don't have like a what's the word I'm looking for? Not
Regional Sports Network.
Regional Sports Network, where these other teams do, and you can still watch it through the MLB package. So this is separate.
Goofy. It's the Guardians. It's the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Are they still on FanDuel? Or are they all
they have like
ESPN
It's
Plus?
the same, at least for me, it was the same channel you always watched them on, but there was no other programming. Like the channel was dark, and then it would come up, and there's the game, and then it went dark again.
Right.
I think it'll be the same.
So for fan,
or you can get it through ESPN Plus.
Right.
But it's so early to know. But is this a good deal or bad deal? We'll find out when the pricing comes out.
I'm confused about it all. So if I got FanDuel, so if I got FanDuel TV, will I still watch the Guardians?
No, not on FanDuel TV.
So you got to have ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Now you do either ESPN Plus or this.
But
year.
So MLB TV. What if
I had MLB TV, but I had to watch the Guardians
on FanDuel
on Fubo.
Right. Oh, Fubo has it,
but they don't. But it's not on.
Or I could have paid an extra, because otherwise it's blacked out on.
Well, they said on YouTube they don't. This ain't on YouTube TV.
No, the YouTube TV does not have the Guardians.
No. Correct.
That's why I had.
So I have YouTube TV for the football season for Sunday Ticket, and then I switch it to Fubo for the.
So now you're not going to Fubo.
I won't have to. No, I'll just buy MLB TV.
What about Cavs? Where do you get Cavs?
FanDuel. That's on
And
football.
FanDuel's not on YouTube, is it?
No, I haven't been able to watch every game. Most of their good games are on ESPN, all these. I can watch ESPN. I can watch TNT. I have Peacock. I
tell you what,
all these other things.
I know somebody for a small fee.
Oh yeah,
I know. Come get you together.
Yeah,
get everything.
I know. I gotta keep.
Allegedly, I know somebody.
Allegedly.
See, listen, we know self-snitching.
By the way, a couple other notes for baseball fans, and I know we have no hope or no thoughts that the Guardians are going to do anything significant. I understand that. This week is an interesting week in baseball because guys had to decide on their qualifying offers earlier in the week. You're seeing minor leaguers get called up. The Guardians called a couple of guys up. Well, technically they didn't get called up, but they were added to the 40-man roster to be protected from the Rule 5 draft. And tomorrow is the last day to non-tender a player. So, a player like, I was going to say Ben Lively, but they already let him go.
Cal, a couple years ago, Quantrill.
Right.
They non-tendered.
Got non-tendered.
That's how they lost him.
Right. Tomorrow's the deadline for that. So you will often see a lot of trades this week. Usually minor deals of guys like a guy that one team wants to get off their 40-man roster, another team has a spot. We've seen some. There was a significant trade between the Angels and Orioles this week.
Yeah.
There was a trade last night, not as big,
What was
between
last night?
the Braves and the A's.
What was that?
Or the Astros, Nick Allen for Mauricio Dubon. Not a huge trade, but two major leaguers.
Were you shocked to see Naylor's contract?
No, I thought that was.
I still haven't seen the money.
I think it's five for 80 something, less than $20 million a year. I mean, that's reasonable. That's about what I always thought he was going to get, and that's why if you're Quan, like you're not getting. You're younger than Naylor, and you're a good defensive player, but you're not the hitter that he is.
Naylor, I think the trade out of Cleveland was a little bit of a wake-up call for him because he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he was great last year.
He looks like a totally different player than he was his last year in Cleveland.
Yeah. And good for him.
Yeah.
Good spot. They like him there. It's a good team, good lineup. Unbelievably, I don't know how true this is, but supposedly the Pirates of all teams are in on Kyle Schwarber.
Well,
which is crazy.
They have to spend a certain amount. They went through that. Yeah, they went through that last year. Or was it the Marlins? Something went through that last year.
They have to spend.
There's something about at the bottom where I'd have to look it up.
Then you don't get revenue sharing money or something?
There's something about it.
There's all these weird rules, but
Kyle
Schwarber is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot of years, but that's a lot of money per year.
You think he will go there and lose?
No, because somebody else will offer him more money. It's not like it's his hometown. Like if he went to Cincinnati, I could see it because that's his hometown. But
Cincinnati ain't paying nothing.
Well, they
pay more than us.
The Pirates and us.
Pirates haven't paid $1 in years.
Do you think they should extend Ellie De La Cruz?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
if
you
they
think
could.
so? I don't know, man. I feel like his hit numbers just kind of went down.
It's his second year.
Listen, it's not basketball where once guys are good, they're good. In baseball, there's ebbs and flows to careers. It happens, but he is as talented as almost any player in the league. I would 100%.
They might be out of time on signing him.
Can we check the batteries in Tyvis? This Tyvis here. This new Tyvis is wild.
He's getting calls from some crazy Reds fans on his radio show.
Tyvis. He had his highest career batting average this year. And an OPS that was just slightly lower than it was last year.
No, it was a time where he
has flaws in his game.
I'm not saying he's perfect, but
he wasn't even getting on base for it was like a streak of it last year.
I'm not pretending I watch a ton of Reds baseball.
I think about moving him positions with him. I think he might be an outfielder down the line. He's like so big. I don't know. We'll see what happens with him.
He's literally 23 years old.
He's a young player. I would 100% look to lock him up.
They say he's going to the Dodgers soon.
Dodgers can't take everybody.
They might.
They could.
Yes, they could.
Dude, listen, everybody talks about the payroll with the Dodgers, and I get it. But the Dodgers there's a lot of other teams with big payrolls that don't win like the Dodgers do.
The Mets?
Yeah. You know why? Because the Dodgers have done what really nobody else has been able to do is they spend like crazy and they're run very smart.
Well, the Yankees in the 90s were like that. They had a great farm system and they spent a ton. Rivera, Posada, Jeter.
They didn't go crazy
but they were all homegrown.
Barney Williams.
Right. They didn't go crazy in free agency. The money disparity wasn't as big then as it is now. And now, like, the Mets and Yankees got crazy payrolls, but their teams aren't crazy good because they spend stupidly and they honestly haven't drafted well.
Yeah.
Whereas not only do the Dodgers spend money, but they're also great at drafting.
Yeah.
They're great at developing. They're great at everything. They're not going to get credit for that because their payroll's high, and I get it. And listen, as good as they weren't an abnormally dominant team this year.
No.
And the Blue Jays are right. The Blue Jays were 2 outs away from winning.
They were half second away from
yeah,
winning.
I really wanted the Blue Jays to win,
Yeah.
but I heard the Blue Jays are hot on Kyle Tucker, which would be they already had a good lineup. My God, if they had him.
Will they keep Bichette too, or will they lose Bichette?
They're going to lose.
They'll
Bichette.
lose him.
He's going somewhere else.
They'll probably slide him over to short.
Yeah, he's going to play short.